There we go. When I first started driving, I used to say, oh yeah, this is just an internet startup with cars. Uber has created something original. I would argue or suggest that Uber still has some rough corners to smooth down.
Veteran San Francisco cab and limo driver Peter Ashlock recently started driving his own car on the Uber mobile phone ride-hailing service. He joins tens of thousands of drivers in 26 countries.
Your option is to either call a cab company and have them come to you, or push the button and get an Uber. I mean, those two, I think, were a replacement for that, for sure.
Travis Kalanick founded Uber 4 years ago in San Francisco as an alternative to waiting for a taxi. He insists it's merely a technology company that connects customers and drivers through a smartphone app.
They have their own businesses, and we bring them. We are like a marketing engine for them, and we find business for them.
Uber sets the price based on demand and duration and collects a portion of the fare for itself. Its new lower-priced Uber X product connects customers with private drivers.
Uber is a company of the moment. Like Amazon and all of these others, they have brought it into the street.
That model is causing friction with many entrenched taxi and livery services. Uber is also running into local regulatory issues, is being sued by disgruntled drivers, criticized for price gouging by customers, and faces questions of liability in accidents.
The off-duty Uber driver who police say hit and killed a 6-year-old girl has been identified,
including the death of a 6-year-old girl in San Francisco. Uber issued a statement on the girl's death saying that the driver was not on the company's system at the time of the accident. State regulations enacted last year require private drivers working with rideshare systems to be insured to $1 million. But who is covered and when remains murky.
If the regs say Uber needs to work with folks who are insured, and they are, then we say, okay, accidents happen and they're not good, and our hearts go out in certain situations because they can be tragic. But at the end of the day, it's what was Uber's part in that accident is the question that I think has to be answered.
Well, if I were injured by an Uber driver, I would probably sue both the driver and Uber because I want to be compensated.
Janelle Orsi, an attorney who specializes in sharing economy law and wrote a book on the subject, says despite some new regulations, there are many legal issues still to be resolved.
And I think a lot of this just remains to be seen as it gets fought out in the courts. But insurance companies are probably going to push back, especially people's personal vehicle insurance companies. They might say, well, we don't need to cover this because you never told us you were operating a business.
Mr. Ashlock says he makes about $1,000 a week driving with Uber.
Well, Uber is certainly a clever idea.
The company is now valued at $4 billion.
They're a company. Like any company, their agenda is to make money for themselves.